Johnny and people that from the cottage.
I'm hungry. It's time.
Yes, so am I.
Hold on. Smelly.
Smile.
Smelly.
Are you ready?
Yes.
And again.
Yes.
Well done.
Smart.
We're going to have a couple of speeches. And to kick it off, I'd like to introduce the lovely Louise.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
I'm really not quite sure how I got landed for this job, but we won't go into that now. I know what an honour it is to be asked to give a speech at a wedding like this. So in the last couple of months, I spent much of my time attending other weddings with the express intention of picking up some tips and find out what exactly I should be doing. It seems that the general idea is to trawl through your victim's past with tenacity and splash her most excruciating moments for all to hear. So, Kimberley, where shall I start? By all accounts, it would seem that Kimberley was a good-natured and spirited child. Screaming tantrums would lead to hours of solitary confinement, during which she insisted on wearing a woolly hat. She also displayed an early entrepreneurial streak, selling horse manure which she collected with her brothers, and delivering newspapers on her bike to earn her keep. The only problem was that every house she fell over the handlebars. Bad bike. Moving to the Bahamas in her teens, she developed an early interest in anthropology and studied all aspects and colourful aspects of Bahamian culture at close quarters. Such was the relationship she enjoyed with her brothers, they call her the fridge.
And I wonder what affliction I was suffering from. There have been several pleasant surprises today. The first was that it managed to happen at all, third time lucky. The second was that Julian produced the rings. I only gave them to him 5 minutes before. Thank you anyway. And the third was that 24 Troop managed to land within 200 metres of each other. Luckily I wasn't there. Kimberley and I first met 6 years ago at someone else's wedding, and I saw this incredibly pretty bridesmaid across the room, and our eyes actually met, and she gave me a filthy scowl. And the reception only lasted one night, not the mandatory 2 weeks for an introduction. But Kimberley, as she scowled at me, she turned to this bloke who was standing next to her and started talking very closely into his ear. And I thought, oh, I'm doomed, and went on my merry way. Little did I know that Kimberley was in fact asking this gentleman what he knew of me. And this bloke turned to her and said, "You're barking up the wrong tree, love. I snogged him earlier." I was far too involved with a bottle of whiskey. It's absolutely untrue. 3 years later, Kimberley and I again met, and she said to me that she would never be involved with an army tanker. I think it was that. I reciprocated that I wouldn't be involved with any media types, and we found a common ground at that point. We got to know each other, and from 6 years ago, when Kimberley was a bridesmaid, to today, and she was to be my wife. I can only say that she's incredibly pretty still, and I feel that every day that I look at her, and I mean that truly and very, very sincerely, and I feel a very lucky man for that. There are one or two thank yous I would like to say. First of all, to Phil and Kath from the Officers' Mess, who have produced a wonderful meal tonight. And I would also like to give my heartfelt thanks to Moo and Claire and my grandmother for all the flowers that they have produced in the church and here, and I think they are wonderful. And thank you. I would like to thank Ginny, who has never been anything but a very, very supportive mother-in-law to be, and at many times saved my bacon. So I would like to thank you, Ginny, very much indeed for all you have supported Kimberley and welcomed me into your family as well. I would of course like to thank my parents for all they have done. I can never entirely thank them. Dad, who is here, and my mother, who is not, and of course our thoughts are indeed not forgotten of her. And I would like to thank Alexander today for making sure that Kimberley didn't make a quick rearward extraction from the church. Well done. The instructions to stand on her train at all costs are not needed. Thank you nonetheless. And finally, I'd like to thank Louisa for a few surprises in that speech. Thank you. I think it's good to know all about your wife after you're married. Time is good. And I would like to thank Julian, but that's not a wise thing to do. And I reserve judgment upon that until he's finished his work of fiction. But I would like to raise your glass to Louisa, the bridesmaid.
An example of this was a few years ago. We all enjoyed a New Year's Eve party. James Bond was the theme. Angus decided to take this role a little bit too far. On this freezing night, making my way home, I noticed a small pile of clothes on the beach of the Thames. On closer inspection, it turned out to be a big pile of small clothes. Of course, instantly recognised these dolls' clothes as Angus's. Sure enough, sighted them about midstream. After persuading Bond that this was not in his best interest, he cancelled the mission. Now, if I can offer him some advice on his wedding night, don't go swimming in the Thames tonight, as it didn't really do much good that night. Angus is mad. Angus is also ingenious. I remember myself, Angus and a friend, particularly hungry on the west coast of Scotland, and in the middle of nowhere. We decided to fish for our supper. After 3 hours of rain, I hadn't caught a sausage. I went over to my friend, who was in a similar position. We went looking for Angus, but couldn't be found anywhere. He did, however, return soon, with the biggest catch I've ever seen in my life. After much interrogation as to where he learned to fish so well, he finally broke. He confessed he'd swum out to the nearest fish park and quiet. Angus is also dangerous. On one notable training exercise, Angus was leading from the front. With a hop and a skip, quick wave, and a follow me, boys, Angus hurdled the wall. Now this is a lesson to us all in looking before one leaps. He chose to do this in reverse order, and as a result, was soon greeted with a 5-foot slurry pit. Believe me, it left Angus quite literally up to his neck in shit. Now, if this is an example of follow me, boys, what will happen when he shouts, "Cover me, I'm going in"? Angus is dangerous. Don't worry, I've only got 3 left. Angus has guts. Angus clearly has guts. But I think most notably, before he met the lovely Kimberley, his choice of ex-girlfriends really was quite frightening. Believe me, Angus certainly had guts. Angus is an extrovert. After a heavy session, in Angus's case, about 3 beers, I suppose, he decided to parade to his public and climb some nearby floodlights. He made good progress and soon cleared the stadium, where he quickly befriended 60,000 Viali cheering football fans. For endeavours, he was awarded the privilege of a night at the Majesty's pleasure. Angus is tenacious. While serving in the States, Angus was threatened with missing out on an exercise. Due to medical reasons, he would have been unable to make the 3-day march required to reach the destination. Because of Angus's tenacious nature, he wanted to take part. Now you and I would probably take on a train, a car, or even a taxi. Angus decided to hitch a ride with the Airborne Division, without any previous experience in parachutes. Hey, pretend to be a parachute. He was quickly found out, as all the 6'3" all-American heroes hooked onto their overhead line and hurled themselves out of the plane. Our best of British was a bit vertically challenged.